Welcome back to Rubbin Minds. I have been with Arese Ugu, the author of The Smart Money Woman, an African girl's journey to financial freedom. And she did mention it was a fictional story. I think I immediately thought money books, it should be non-fiction. They should tell you 5 things on how to spend your money, but it's quite interesting. And I'll just read part of the blurb. I can't believe this is happening to me. Zuri panicked as she shook her head and stared at her account balance. I'm sure so many women can relate to this, and even men, because you think you're that financially covered, and then you look at the balance, you're like, wait a minute, it's halfway through the month, and I'm in the red. Yeah. So why fiction? Why go down that path?
Okay, so I started writing personal finance, on Bella Niger. And I wanted to talk about personal finance in a context that was like truly African, and in a way that somebody like me, that's an African millennial, would understand and be interested in. It was really important to me that the book would be something that would not only have impact, but would drive conversation. I wanted people to talk about it with their friends, with their sisters, because it was an enjoyable story as well. And I think money can be a very preachy topic. So if it's like how to do this, don't do this, and don't do that, people are less likely to listen to it or engage with it. So it's worked out.
Are you Zuri?
No.
Or have you ever been a Zuri at some point in your life?
Well, I'm not Zuri. People keep asking me this. It is fictional. Zuri is not Arese, but I think that there are parts of me in every single character in the book. And
what other characters do we have apart from Zuri?
So there's Zuri, who's the main character. She's a typical Lagos girl. She looks like she has everything, but she's
Brazilian hair.
She's actually broke because she has nothing in terms of assets. And then there's Lara. Okay. She's an oil and gas executive. She is quite good with her money, but she has a lot of pressure financially from her family. Then there's Ladu, who's a fabulous housewife. And there's Adesoa, who is a conservative lawyer, and then there's Tammy, who is a fashion designer. So the book, takes you through the personal finance journeys of each character, and tackles a lot of important personal finance issues that I think are very pertinent to the African woman.
So there's a spender or a buyer or a certain personality when it comes to money that is being represented in each and every one of these characters.
Definitely.
Okay, so I'm sure people would have reacted and said, oh, I'm more of Lara in this situation, but then sometimes I find myself as a Zuri. So does Zuri come full circle and learn?
She does. So I think the interesting thing about the book is that you see her make the mistakes, and you see how she gets out of debt, how she starts to build an emergency fund, how she takes advantage of networking opportunities, how she starts to basically get back on the road to financial freedom. It talks about investing, the questions you should ask your investment advisor, that sort of thing. There's love in the book.
Oh, there's a love story somewhere in the money. Well, there's no honey without money, or there's no romance without finance. Thank you so much, Arese.
Thank you so much for having me.
The Smart Money Woman, an African girl's journey to financial freedom. Definitely a must-read from everything we've said here. It's not a boring book just about facts and figures, but something that every woman and man can relate to. We're going to go on a quick break, but Rubbin Minds continues after this.